All right, we're live. Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. I am so excited to talk to you. As we were talking before I hit, the live, I just thought you were amazing in the full circle. And, but I am also in awe of this film, Good Daughter. And so I figure we could just dive in. Could you talk about the inspiration for the film and also what it's about? And I know I should preface and say it's going to be screening at HollyShorts this weekend. Is it on Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday night, 7:30 in the Primetime Block.
Okay, awesome. So if you're in LA, make sure to see it. And I'll link, where people can get tickets and everything. So yeah, so if you could start with talking about the inspiration and what the film's about. Yeah,
absolutely. So I had come off doing a couple of features that I had directed. And they were all for hire jobs. And so I wanted to do something that was really just me, that I made for myself. As you mentioned, I came off a certain job in the fall that I cannot talk about because of the SAG strike that paid for this movie, this short film. And I have been looking for a script, and I got connected with the writer Jesse Harris, who is a fellow Kentuckian. I'm from Kentucky, now live in New York. He's a Kentuckian that now lives in Los Angeles. And I talked to him for maybe half an hour, and he sent me the pitch for Good Daughter within 2 days. And it was like he had written down the movie that I'd always wanted to make. And the movie is about a small-time con artist who rips off elderly dementia patients by pretending to be their daughter until the con catches up with her, which the log line makes people recoil, right? Like, because it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. And I have had, to me, when he sent the log line, I instantly was attracted to it for a number of reasons. One, a lot of societies revere their elders, and we kind of throw them away here.
We don't.
And I've had two grandmothers. Both my grandmothers have passed away from Alzheimer's. So the last one being a few months ago. And so I've seen what it's like to go into those Alzheimer's homes, and for people to live the rest of their lives there and not be visited by their family. And the thing that struck me about this film is the only reason she gets away with any of this, the only reason she can rip off these patients, is because no one comes to visit them.
I know.
Their families don't come to visit them. And it posed a really interesting moral quandary to me about, she is, yes, taking things that don't belong to her, but she is also giving them last moments with their children. So she's spending time with them. And I think it's the kind of dichotomy of that is what really attracted me to this project. I love female-led, character-driven projects. And I wanted, one of my goals with this was for the audience to care about the lead protagonist despite themselves by the end of the film. So those are thank you very much. We had a wonderful lead actress with Samantha Sloyan.
Yes. And how did you, that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask about casting her and working with her for this film. Yeah.
She is phenomenal and the nicest human ever, may I just say. I had seen her work. So I had a film debut at HollyShorts in 2019, the very first short that I ever directed, Hatched, debuted at HollyShorts. So it's really great coming back and debuting this film here. But she also had a film at that time called Happy Hour that I saw. And then I saw her in Mike Flanagan's miniseries on Netflix, Midnight Mass. And
she's not so nice in that role.
It's not nice at all. But she plays a character, for those of you who don't know, named Bev Keane. who's a zealot. But her character is deeply committed to the idea that her beliefs are the right thing to do. Yes. And when I read Good Daughter, Sam asked me, like, what did you see in Bev that made you think of me for Rebecca?
Right.
And that's the answer that I gave her, that I had to find someone who was deeply committed to the idea that these terrible things were the right thing to do. Because otherwise, if the character wasn't justified in their own actions, then the audience would not follow. So when I read the script, Sam popped in my mind. I had watched Midnight Mass probably a year ago, but she had stuck with me as someone that I really wanted to work with because I thought she just was phenomenal in that show. And my dear friend, Patrick Goodwin, who is a casting director at TCL Company, I called him up and I said, will you be a casting consultant on my short film? There's an actress I really want to go after. And I want to make sure it's, done in the most professional way possible because I really want her to say yes, because I can see the whole movie around her and how I would build that movie. And I know how I just know she would nail it. And he said, sure, thankfully. And I put together a pitch deck for the film, which was like a 10-page kind of document filled with mood boards and my whole vision for the thing. And wrote her personal letter. And he approached her agent and sent all that. And within a few days, she wrote back and said, yeah, I would love to. I'd love to come to Kentucky and be in your short film. And, she did. And she was such I did not know her until we had one conversation before I picked her up from the airport in Louisville. And I mean, I was a fan of her work, but became a fan of her personally during that. She was just like, she brought donuts for the crew.
Oh my goodness. She sounds awesome.
She's a pleasure. She is a true pleasure. I think everyone after this strike should hire her for everything.
And so I really thought it was interesting, I thought it was interesting with, having these relationships with these older people and bringing that to the screen, but also just like the things that she took, like all the baseball cards and that gold watch. And I was like, who's Lee Briggs? Like, was that the
teenagers?
Oh, okay. Cause I was like, I looked it up and so he's a baseball player or wait, no, sorry.
Was an actor.
Sorry.
But so he was, and there's a joke in it that in the script where honestly, I had to look up who Lee Majors was. That was full on Jesse Harris.
Got it.
But cool. He was the $1 Million Man. And I guess there was a wrestler named Ted DiBiase who was the $6 Million Man. And so the pawn shop owner gets the two mixed up in the pawn shop because his boss really wants the $6 Million Man's watch.
Okay. Got it.
That was a total boy joke that I had to look up. But I guess Lee Majors, because both of us were from Kentucky, Lee Majors was famously from Kentucky. And we played the film in Kentucky. So we thought it would make sense that character that she stole.
And and then I thought that was so interesting that she was like willing to sell everything but that watch and so that was fascinating. I always ask this question of filmmakers, what do you hope people see in this film?
I hope that people take away that the actions of others aren't all right or all wrong, that we live in morally gray areas, and to be more forgiving of others, I guess. And also to go home and call their family, chosen or bloodwise, whatever that is. To connect with them and to value them in not only their earlier years, but their later years.
Yeah, that's great. And, I was thinking my grandma, she's 98.
Oh my gosh.
She was actually, she doesn't have Alzheimer's, but she was recently put in a home because all the family members have been trying to take care of her, but it's like come to a point where, you know, she's so old now, then it's difficult. And I just want to spend time with her because, you know, when she's gone, and I love her so much. And so, yeah, that made me think of my grandma. So yeah, I wanted to talk about your other projects, but now that I think about it with the strike, we probably can't. But is there anything that you could share that's not actor related that you're working on?
I shot a movie, a romantic comedy last summer called The Engagement Dress. It was the first romantic comedy I've ever done. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
Mike Manning from Emmy winner from Days of Our Lives is one of the lead. It was a real kind of breath of fresh air. It's about, do you know the movie Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
Yes, I love that film.
Very much like that, but with an engagement dress. So it's a little black dress that a group of 4 friends, all of them, when they wear the dress, they get engaged to the loves of their lives, except for our lead, who gets broken up with. But it needs her to find the love of her life. So in a way, the dress is magic, and the dress does in fact work. But it's really about female friendships and believing in magic. And it's just like a lovely film. I got some news this morning that they may have found a distributor. Not share just yet, but I will let you know, because I imagine that will come within days. But
that's great.
It was such a delightful film. We shot it in 12 days, so those are always fun.
Wow.
We shot a wedding and a wedding reception on one day.
Oh my goodness. That takes a lot of good planning.
It was, I mean, I think if you have a plan and you communicate well with your director of photography and your crew, you can achieve amazing things.
Yes.
So I have that movie that will come out. I'm going to guess it's going to come out next summer because it's a summer movie.
Great.
And then I'm currently attached to 2 other projects. One's a holiday film, and then one's a horror film. And then one I'm very excited about, I'm developing with a writer, is a biopic of Grace Hopper. And that one, I love anything where women don't take no for an answer, and that is Grace Hopper in a nutshell. She was a real pistol. I love her.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? I love that. What's her real name in the film? Rebecca. Okay, which is funny because that's my name. I can't remember that. But Rebecca is just such a strong character, so authentic, and I think it's so important to bring those kind of characters to the screen, especially like friendships, like you were talking about with your film that's going to be coming out. I don't think that's shown on screen enough, so thank you for doing that's great.
It was a real pleasure. It's one of those things where when I was looking for pictures for the mood boards, I was like, wow, a lot of men have played these kinds of roles, but it's really hard to find women who like.
I know.
I feel like I pulled a lot of Natasha Lyonne for the mood boards.
That is so, she's a great actress. We could go all into that. But was there anything else you wanted to add about the film or the screening before we close up?
Just that I'm really excited to be premiering at HollyShorts. Like I said, I've my very first short film debuted there, and it's such a great festival. And they're wonderful filmmakers, and they put on a good show. You get to see it up at the TCL Chinese Theatres for the first time, and
that's amazing.
You know, it's pretty special experience because so many people watch things on their phones and their computers, but it was really made for that format. So to be able to see it up there is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna have to go next year. I feel like now that I've covered indie shorts, and I actually have my own short film festival through Cinema Femme, I need to hit them all up. They're so much fun. And I love talking to the filmmakers for shorts, because I feel like shorts don't get on the big screen like they should. And so yeah, but anyways, that's another topic.
Shorts are a labor of love, so it's so nice to have the reward of seeing
yes, that's great. Well, thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you.
This will be up shortly, and yeah, I'll make sure to promote and tag you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.